What is it, Elaine?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Isn't there someone else you'd rather give it to? Or am I just the most convenient choice?
Not at all. The rite of covenant can only be performed if the two parties are of one mind and one heart.
Is that true?
The rings will suffer no lies. It's you, Scarlett. It's always been you. These feelings I bear are not mere friendship, but a love both deep and utterly profound. I finally understand that now.
You know, I always thought it was my mission that kept me standing beside you. But I realized something back when we were separated. I treasure you more than I could have ever dreamt.
Then stay with me, Scarlett, until the day we both drift off into eternal slumber.
Nothing in this world could make me happier. So it's true. There's really no lying to the rings. I love you, Elaine, and I always will.
Let me guess. Lady troubles? You called the right guy.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Sure you do. You think this is funny?
Sorry, I'm sorry, but I do mean it. From everything I've heard, it seems these rings grow stronger based on the depth of their bearer's bond.
All that, and you're wasting it on me. No wonder you've got the love life of a doorknob.
Listen to me, Lex. You once said you were prepared to lay down your life if it meant guaranteeing my survival. Yet, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather die than suffer the loss of my greatest friend. But I admit, you've grown strong. Almost impossibly so. So this time, promise me that we'll live on. Together.
I don't know what to say. Though I guess I'm doing something right, huh?
I've always thought so. You simply never realized it yourself.
Shucks. And yeah, you're always a ton better. A lot less dying, too.
Then we'll swear to it. Here.
Whoa. That do it?
So it would seem.
I'm not so sure about this Maiden thing, though. You want to trade?
Your Highness, I presume you seek advice regarding the rite of covenant. My ears are yours, should you have need of them.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Does my hearing fail me, sir? You would name me over all others?
I would.
This cannot do. I am not but a humble servant to the crown. Hardly worthy of swearing a covenant as your equal.
I'm told the power of these rings grows exponentially with the bond of trust shared by their bearers. Do you believe in that bond, Josef?
Unquestionably.
I should say, I've never thought of you as a mere vassal. 10 long years have passed since we first fled to Palavia. I was a child then, terrified of the dark shadows lurking behind every corner. But I wasn't alone, not with you watching over me. You're the closest thing to a father I've ever had, Josef. And now, I ask that you walk with me on a new path for all of Cornea.
Your Highness, I think of you the same way. Almost as though... No, I dare not let such words cross my lips. All this while, I've struggled desperately to keep the tiny flame of Cornea's royal lineage ablaze. To imagine it would now burn as bright as the midday sun, radiant in all its glory. You've grown more than I ever thought possible, Elaine.
Does that mean you'll accept?
Indeed it does. This battle of wills could only have had one winner.
Our covenant is sealed.
In sooth, Your Highness, I would like nothing more than to ruminate upon the honor you've granted me here. Yet now is not the time for sentimentality. Galerius must be slain, and we shall be the ones playing the executioner.
Is there something I can help you with, Your Majesty?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I had a feeling that might be why you asked me here, but I don't know. There must be someone else who deserves it more than I do.
I'm meant to give this ring to whomever I trust most. And when I paused to think who that may be, yours was the first and only face that crossed my mind.
Really?
You know, you can just tell me if you're not interested. Apologies, that's not how I meant to phrase it. What I truly wish to say is, your presence is what gives me the strength to march on day after day.
You would be doing this whether I'm here or not, and you know it.
But...
I'm sick of seeing you like this, Elaine. All these years, I've watched you grow more and more into the ideal prince. But I know that's not who you really are. So cut the act. At least when you're with me. I'll do it. Swear the oath, I mean.
Thank you, Chloe.
But only if I can spend more time with you. The real you. I'm serious.
That means the world to me. Truly.
You'll have to prove it then. Let's see how good you are at dropping that princely mask of yours.
I shall endeavor to do so in all that I am.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know not why you've summoned me here, my prince, but I am ever yours to command. What is it?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Is that truly what you desire, your highness? I admit I considered such a possibility when I received your invitation, but there is no role more pivotal than this.
Why do you seem so surprised? Surely I've made no secret of the trust I bear for you.
Well, no. I suppose not.
As a boy, I couldn't wait to grow as strong and dependable as you. A steadfast warrior, mighty enough to support any who need it.
And that's precisely what you've become, my prince. In body and mind both. The pillar of justice upon which we all depend.
Yet I've only achieved that feat thanks to you, Hodrick. And I would like you beside me even still. So allow me to ask you again. Will you accept this ring?
Indeed I will, your highness. The ring itself, and the kind words in which you've draped it. It is my greatest honor to be the man you've chosen for this moment. I'm ready, my prince.
As am I. Soon we shall finally bring a close to this dark chapter.
Even should I live 1,000 years longer, no day could ever surpass this very one. Thank you. Truly.
Your Highness, is there a reason you've asked me here?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I understand. Do you recall your request to me not long past? To join your royal guard once the war concludes?
Of course. I also recall you rejecting the offer. Yet I would ask this of you now, even still. Even should you reject my overtures once more.
In truth, Your Highness, I've come to regret the denial with which I met you that day. I realize now, riding for your aim of a good and prosperous Cornea will bring much the same to my own home. Would that I could have arrived at the revelation sooner. Though, we may leave the past in the past. In the present moment, I desire nothing more than to serve at your side.
It's rare to hear such intense emotions from you, Clive. But that's not a complaint. Your words are most heartening. And I'm glad you've changed your mind.
I can imagine no greater honor than this, Your Highness.
Yet you're the only one I could ever have hoped to ask.
Please, such generous words are wasted upon this humble knight. Now come. Together, we shall see Zenoira's ambitions defeated.
It's funny. I've spent some time looking into the legends about the unicorn, and I don't know. I just don't see where I fit in.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Sorry, do I look like a maiden to you?
It doesn't matter what you look like. I ask this covenant not for your appearance, but your strength.
Could have said that sooner, don't you think? Still, seems like a pretty big decision. Not the kind of thing you want to discuss standing up. Let's sit. Now, if swearing this oath is really how we beat Zenoira, well, I'll be expecting a nice, cushy job in your court to make up for it.
Simply name the position and it's yours.
Uh-huh. You know that means there'll be no getting rid of me, right?
I don't mind. I couldn't think of a greater friend to have at my side. So please, Travis, this right is all that I desire, even should our war efforts ultimately fall short.
Don't even talk about losing. It's not gonna happen. But I can tell you're serious about this. Now come on, hand that ring over.
It's an honor, truly.
Guess that was it then. Oh, and I think I mentioned, I really love reading. So once this is all over, maybe we can build ourselves a library. A huge one, with books hailing from every corner of Fevrith. A place I can get lost in for days on end.
That sounds wonderful. You'll have to save me a seat beside you.
You were asking for me, boss?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Doesn't seem like you're pulling my leg from the look of you. Mind if I ask why?
Because swearing an oath with the person I trust most is the only way to draw out the ring's true power. And that person is you. That's more than enough reason for me.
Here I was, thinking I'd pack it all in after the war. Go home, kick my feet up. But if you're offering a sweeter deal, I'd be dumber than camel tongue to say no.
Thank you, Aubin. I'll need your wit and more in the days to come.
Looks like we got ourselves a deal. Nobody stopping us? Not now, not ever.
There's that confidence. I knew you were the right man for the task.
Like anyone else could fill these boots. Now come on. We got an emperor to topple.
You called for me, Your Highness?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Me, sir?
Over the course of our time together, I feel our bond has grown much deeper than that of a mere soldier and his commander. You possess an undying sense of justice, One which leaves you unwilling to overlook even the most banal of evils. Not to mention a kindness that compels you to aid any who need it, and ultimately win back an entire continent. I'd like to chase that dream at your side, Rolf, and this ring serves as a symbol of that desire.
Such a thing is far too precious to waste on a man like me. And yet, I know well your aim in this grand conquest. You fight not for riches, nor the sweet taste of glory.
There is but one prize I hope to claim.
Peace for your people.
Just so. I take it you'll accept then.
Gladly. I share the same desire, Elaine. And together, we'll make it manifest.
So we shall.
Try as they may to tear us apart, my prince. I will never leave your side. I swear my very life upon it.
You, want me to grab someone for you? I know it's not easy asking for him yourself, so...
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You a few horses short of a stable boss? What part of me screams Maiden to you?
None of it, actually. But despite its name, I'm free to give this ring to whomever I please. The only requisite is that I trust its recipient above all others. Which is why I'd like you to have it, Bruno.
All this sappy stuff makes me want to puke. But there's a time in every fella's life that he's got to speak his mind. Guess mine's finally turned up.
I'll hear whatever you have to tell me. And apologies for the nausea.
Already said it once before. You saved my life, Elaine. And I always pay off my debts. Especially when they're the only reason I'm still breathing. So it doesn't matter what's coming for us. I'll be right here, ready to flatten any poor sap that tries to hurt ya. That's how much you mean to me. Oh, and I'll be taking that ring now. Gotta make it official and all.
Thank you for this, Bruno. I knew you were the right person to ask. And with that, our covenant is sworn.
It feels damn good, too. I've got the strength of 1,000 men.
I was told you've need of me, Prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You would bestow so holy a relic on me, sir?
I would. Time and again, I found myself restored by your sublime healing magics. And in truth, simply having you at my side brings me more warmth and comfort than even the most soothing of flames. I only hope you'll grant me a chance to return that favor.
I'm not sure I understand.
Then allow me to expound. Amidst your kindness, Sharon, I often forget that malice exists at all. Yet forgotten or not, it is always present, drowning our people in a sea of pain and hurt. Or so it would, were you not there to mend it. But who shall heal you when you falter?
I'm not worried about that. Honestly, it feels like nothing could ever hurt me while you're here. Because I know you'll do anything in the world if it means keeping me safe. I accept your proposal, Elaine. And the ring, of course.
Those words are like a potent magic for my heart.
Elaine, I fear you'll be hurt protecting me. But if you are, I'll be right there to heal your wounds. To kiss them better as well.
Perhaps I could pick up a few scrapes then. And I will never allow harm to come to you. Neither now, nor ever.
You wanted something, Prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Well, this is a surprise. I've walked this earth for countless years, and never once received such a bold proposal.
Yet I would have no other, Yahna. Your wisdom, your experience, and your kindness are simply put, unparalleled. I ask that you not only guide my way, but stand beside me as my bewitching bride.
I admit, I was thinking I'd take up my old job as court sorcerer once the war was over, but... Queen,
Your beauty would light the castle no matter what role you took. Though, I was hoping you'd choose to light my life as well. What do you say?
I say that I yield. I've lived tens of thousands of days in my life, but this one is surely the happiest of them all.
You mean...
I'll have that ring now. And I promise, those Zenoiran fools won't touch a hair on your head as long as I'm here. We'll get through this, Elaine. Together. And rebuild Cornea as husband and wife.
I would have it no other way.
The fate of the world rests in our hands. So why is it that I feel so blissfully warm?
Yes, go on. Claim this is about a covenant or what have you. I know you've only asked me here so you can pull me aside for a good scolding.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Sorry, you... what? I've heard legends of that ring. How betraying its union will get you struck down by the very heavens themselves.
'Tis no legend, but truth. Yet in return, It will unleash the Ring of the Unicorn's full power, thereby enabling us to smite Galerius once and for all. And you, Auch, are the only one I can ask to accept it.
I can't believe this. Have I finally found it, Mother? Finally discovered my purpose on this cruel earth. Very well, Elaine. I've reason to believe that ring of yours represents my life's calling. My answer is yes.
I had the utmost faith it would be. Thank you, truly. I'll treasure this moment for as long as we live.
As will I, but I do have one request. Would you mind complimenting me every now and then? Maybe once a day? Or constantly, perhaps?
Here you've got words for me, Elaine. What can I do for you?
I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
And here I was hoping you wanted to spar. Too bad.
Berenice, please.
Sorry, bad habit. We've let our swords do the talking enough. By now, I know what you're feeling, even without steel in your hand.
We've locked blades countless times of late. I have the scars to prove it. And yet, I treasure each one as a lasting symbol of our unity. You're the finest partner I could ever ask for, Berenice. Both in sparring and in life.
I saw this coming from a mile away, but I had no idea it would feel so embarrassing. Just know that I'm not gonna stop training until I finally overtake you. So don't use this oath as an excuse to slack off, or I'll be at your heels in no time flat.
Of course. I'll strive to remain strong and able as long as years allow it.
Guess that's it then. Now, I was thinking we could use a session or two to really get us ready for Galerius. What do you say?
It would be a pleasure. Wherever you lead, I'll gladly follow.
You wanted to speak with me, Your Highness.
I'd like you to have the Ring of the Maiden.
Really? Are you sure I'm worthy of it?
Yes, and so much beyond it as well. There's no man I trust more in this world than you, Adel. But I won't force the matter. The decision to accept it or not lies solely on your shoulders.
Please, Your Highness. You needn't look so downcast. This is an immense honor, and one I would be a fool to refuse. It's merely, I've never received such an offer from another man before. It's only natural it would paralyze me a moment.
Apologies, Adel. I took our friendship for granted and failed to consider how you might feel. So let me ask the question anew. Will you accept this ring and join me in covenant that I might bear the full strength of the unicorn?
That's how you meant it. But of course, Your Highness. I'll endure any task for the sake of our nation.
Our covenant is sworn. Will you stand beside me through the trials ahead, my friend?
As if you even have to ask. I won't leave your side, Your Highness.
And where is your rider, fair Griffin?
I'm sorry, Your Highness.
Please, you needn't apologize. But is there a reason you're hiding from me?
Well, I guess I'm having trouble believing any of this is real. It is real, isn't it?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You would?
Indeed. There's none more deserving of it than you.
Oh, what do I do? Can this really be happening?
Fran.
Forgive me, my prince. I'm just struggling to take this all in.
The blame lies with me for surprising you so. The truth is, I've been enchanted ever since we took to the sky together. Not by the thrill of riding atop a griffin, but by how I felt doing so with you. Should you accept this ring, we shall fly together for the rest of our lives, and attempt to surmount our fates in the process. Yet I will bear no fear as long as we walk hand in hand. So tell me, Fran, would you be willing to make another dream of mine a reality?
To be honest, when I first heard this talk of rings and rights, I secretly hoped I would be the one you ended up picking. All that to say, I would be honored.
I'm glad to hear it.
Looks like both our dreams came true today.
Indeed. Perhaps I could have saved us some worry if I only mentioned it sooner.
Yes, hilarious joke. Well done.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Glad you had your bit of fun for the day. I'll just be going now.
Did you hear me, Selvie? This is no joke.
What? You mean you're serious?
Entirely. There's no one I'd rather spend the rest of my life with than you. The ring is yours, assuming you want it.
How could I say no after such a romantic proposal? Nobody else treats me the way you do, Elaine. And I feel exactly the same I couldn't imagine life without you. Now, how do we do this?
You can start by giving me your hand.
So this is the ring of the Maiden. Fascinating. I can feel a strange power flowing through every inch of my body. I suppose that means the pact is sworn. Though I must say, this ring is quite the curio. Yes, I think it'll do nicely for my experiments.
Just try not to break it, please.
How could you even suggest such a thing? I'll treasure it for as long as I live.
Your Highness? I was told you had a matter to discuss?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
What? I don't mean to challenge you, but why me?
Isn't it obvious? Your heart is as straight and true as the finest arrow, and you grow ever stronger with even the slightest stumble. Such steadfast resolve brings to mind my own shortcomings, and the lengths to which I must go to overcome them. Yet with you at my side, no obstacle is too great. Not even Galerius himself. Hence I would ask you to stay there as my resplendent queen for the rest of our mortal days.
I feel much the same. I'm always able to push myself that little bit further whenever you're near. Even should I stumble, even should I fall. I know you'll be right there to pick me up again, no matter how hard I may hit the ground. In truth, you've helped me come to love myself more than I thought possible. So as long as you promise to never leave me, I would be honored to accept your ring.
And I would be honored to grant it. Thank you, Nina.
I've never known a joy this intense in all my years, though I'm sure our life together will bring plenty more.
Indeed it will. Today marks our first step down a new path. One we walk hand in loving hand.
Oh, fine piece of metal you've got there. Guessing you have some grand ideas for it, huh? So that's why you asked me here. You want to practice with a seasoned vet before you pop the big question.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Hey, you can't just spring it on them like that. You have to set the mood first. Make it real.
Through all our time together, I've seen firsthand how compassionate you can be, how dedicated and how selfless.
Yeah, that's more like it. Keep going.
As for why I've asked you here, I was hoping you would accept this ring.
What's with the stare? You've got to be kidding me.
This is no joke. You're the one I've chosen, Mordon.
It's too early in the day for this kind of tripe. Tell me, kid, what's an old drunk like me gonna do with a pretty little ring like that?
I can't deny that you love your liquor, but it's grown clear that you love your fellow man even more. So you see, it has to be you. Your strength alone will help me finally topple Galerius's reign of terror.
You're a strange one. You know that?
I'd argue this is the only logical outcome.
Looks like you won't take no for an answer. Come on then, hand it over. I'm with you to the very end, kid. It's only right, after everything you've done for me.
I can't thank you enough. Though be warned, I'll be relying on you even more from here forth.
How can I be of assistance, Your Highness?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Oh, Are you certain I'm deserving of such an honor?
I am. I'd see it passed to none but you.
I cannot accept.
And might I ask why?
Because, Your Highness, you've only made this request to appease my father.
I would never. This is a matter of the heart, not a political transaction.
You say that, and yet, most would struggle to see it any other way. 'Tis vexing indeed, to live a life wholly and completely ordained by a parent. But someday, I shall carve a new path. One that I, and only I, walk. So forgive me, Your Highness. As I am now, I have no choice but to refuse.
Miriam, wait. I asked you here because the ring belongs to you. Not your father, and certainly not anyone else. I mean that with every ounce of my being. And if I may, you already walk beneath your own sun. A star that burns not through filial obligation, but immense strength of will. Now please, tell me how you truly feel.
Elaine, I trust you speak those words with the purest intentions. And I thank you for announcing them. In sooth, when I heard you had summoned me here, well, my heart nearly burst forth from my chest. I want nothing more than to feel that same feeling every day of my life. To stand beside you as your loving betrothed. And I promise, I'll never hide myself from you again. I want you to see me as I really am. Nothing more and nothing less.
Thank you, Miriam. Such bold declarations are not easy to make, yet you've shown great courage in doing so.
I must be wearing the most untoward smile right now, but I fear I can't help it.
'Tis nothing to be ashamed of. I find it charming, in fact.
Do you? But it's so very undignified. I'll have you not laugh at my struggles, thank you.
What's up, Prince? Got something you want to tell me?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Look, I know this thing's about trust and all, but I'm not exactly the maiden kind of girl. You sure?
I am. There's none other I would ask this of.
You've got some weird tastes. But hey, I'm not judging.
Is it truly such an odd request? You're pure of heart, Kitra. True to yourself, and strong besides. Which doesn't even account for your compassion, your kindness, your diligence, your dedication. With a partner as marvelous as you by my side, the ring's power will surely never falter. Kitra?
Just stop!
Did I say something wrong?
Of course you did. You're being way too nice to me. Ugh, I don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. Don't laugh!
Sorry.
Still, I guess I can't really say no after all that, huh? Fine then. I'll do it.
Thank you, Kitra. I'd have it no other way.
Done and done. Zenoira won't even know what hit him.
And there's that strength again. I'm honored to be able to call it mine.
I've come as you asked, Elaine. What seems to be the matter?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Explain yourself.
We've shared many a fierce battle since the day we first met back near Ronmore. And in all that time, I've yet to find another who I would trust more intensely with my own safety. As for my part, I've worked tirelessly to become a man deserving of one as strong and stunning as you. So what do you say? Shall we save the world, you and I together?
To be frank, such cloying words set my teeth to grind. But, well, this is hardly the first time I've found myself bemused by your candor. And I suppose, somewhere along the way, I've actually grown fond of it. Do you understand?
I believe I do. But I'd rather hear the sentiment in plain words, if you will. How is it that you think of me, Ochlys?
You'd make me spell it out for you? I'll only say this once, so listen well. While I admit you do have a naive air about you,
Go on.
I've never once doubted the keenness of your blade, nor the kindness of your heart. I care for you deeply, Elaine.
Would you mind repeating that? Just one more time.
I most certainly would. I already told you, once is all you get. Now then, I'll take that ring, if you still wish to give it.
It's all I could ever dream of. Thank you, Ochlys, for being there when it felt like nobody else was. I could imagine no greater life than the one spent at your side.
You have a way with words. I'll give you that.
Your Highness, I beg you, exclude me from your thoughts and offer the right to one more deserving of its grace.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Please, my prince, I could never be worthy of such an immense honor.
That's where you're wrong. You need only lift your gaze to see it. Listen well, Renault. I could never hope to defeat Zenoira without the flame of virtue which glows deep within you. That very flame will light our path to a greater Fevrith, guide its people to lives of peace and prosperity, and most of all, burn away this guilt you bear, and finally open your eyes to the latent truth of this world.
Your Highness, I've never met as generous a soul in all my days. Even should my body crumble, and my flame be reduced to mere ash, I shall never rest until we see Galeria slain.
Hold, Renault. I would ask you an indulgence first.
You need only name the thing, and it is yours.
In my eyes, that unbending devotion makes you more deserving of trust than any other. Yet Zenoira's demise would be for naught if we lose that wellspring of devotion in the process. So I ask that you live on in service of our fair nation, long after this battle is won. And to be frank, I could not bear to lose you.
Such kindness moves me beyond the limit of words, Your Highness. I swear to you, we shall greet victory together, and march onward with renewed health and vigor.
Our covenant is sealed. You have my thanks, Renault.
And you mine. This humble knight shall never know defeat. That, and I promise to prove myself worthy of the honor.
Was there something you wished to discuss, my prince? This is quite the lovely spot for a chat.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
That's a bold declaration there.
When we first locked swords, I saw in you a knight of firm convictions, and truly immense skill. With one such as you beside me, I'm certain we can bring Galerius to heel.
So that's how it is. You desire my strength, yet care not for matters of my heart.
Father forbid. I assure you, that's not how I meant it. I only ask this of you as the one I trust most. The one I love.
Oh, but it is fun to watch you squirm.
Pray, do not tease me so.
If you insist. But allow me to return your sincerity in kind. I could never refuse this offer. Not after the next king so boldly professed his love. As you know, my life has long been devoted to Cornea and her people. And I would be honored to continue on that path of devotion as your beloved wife.
Thank you, Monica. Under our shared rule, Cornea shall finally know a new dawn. A brighter dawn, free of violence and cruelty.
You know, I never realized just how cute this little ring would be. I wonder how that ex-fiancé of mine will react when he sees it.
Please, don't torment the man more than strictly necessary.
Elaine, is this what I think it is?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You mean you'll take me as your bride? Me? Above all others?
That's my wish, yes.
This barely feels real. I'm not dreaming, am I?
I assure you, you're wide awake. You were hardly subtle in your approach when first we met. Now, allow me to return the favor. Your hand, please. And with that, our oath is sworn.
Oh, Elaine. I, Melisandre Maye, pledge to stand at your side through whatever may come. Through times both good and bad. And I know what I said before, but don't go taking any wives but me. Or consorts.
I promise. You're the only one I could ever need.
You know, I may be the lady's attendant, but you needn't go through me if you wish to call upon her.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Pardon, sir? You don't want Lady Melisandre, but me?
I fear I've given the wrong impression in calling you here.
Not at all, sir. I'm merely struggling to comprehend.
It's a rather straightforward matter, I promise you. I'm to give the ring to the person I trust most in this world. And together, we will strike Zenoira down and restore a great and lasting peace to all of Fevrith. There is none more deserving of it than you, Colm. Your loyalty and wisdom will prove vital in the battle ahead, and the years beyond it.
I understand now. And I would gladly accept. Everything I do for the well-being of our people, and for that of Lady Melisandre, of course. If you're certain the talents of a lowly servant can be of use, I will readily offer them to your cause.
Thank you, Colm. With one of your skill at my side, we are all but guaranteed to emerge victorious.
High praise indeed. But I assure you, the reality of our righteous war will soar even higher.
A fine place you have here. What's the meaning of this?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I knew you were a strange one from the moment we met. I've been an outcast my entire life. Reviled, shunned by the world. But you and Lord Gislaine greeted me with acceptance, not hate.
I merely did what I felt was right.
Then tell me, what happens once you give me the ring?
First, we bring Zenoira's reign to an end. You and I, together. After that, I could entice you back to Cornea. Perhaps as the royal physician. Or more, if you were so willing.
Looking to keep me as close as possible, I see. Are you sure you're ready for all that entails?
I've never been readier for anything. This ring is proof of that.
I can think of no greater way to observe your death than to stand with you in life. Just know that I'm not giving it back, even if you change your mind years in the future.
Nor could I ever want you to.
And Elaine, maybe forget what I've said about that dying business. I don't think I could bear losing you.
I knew you'd ask me here. Well, I'll be taking that ring now.
Yes, of course.
Glad you know what's best for you. Honestly, I'd always believed I'd be queen someday. I thought it was inevitable, really. But that horrible day 10 years passed. Well, I nearly lost hope entirely.
It must have been awfully hard. I at least had Josef to protect me, but you were all alone in this world.
Deep down, I knew Cornea had fallen. I just didn't want to admit it. Still, there were nights I let myself drift into fantasy. Memories of my time with you and Aunt Elenia. Dreaming how one day I would reinstate the royal family to its rightful status. But it seems that's no longer a dream. Not anymore.
With how far the liberation has come, Cornea's redemption is but a matter of course. Assuming I have you at my side, that is. I need you, Virginia. More than you could possibly know.
Our covenant is sealed then. You can come a bit closer if you want. When we were young, I always thought of you as a brother. But you're so much more to me than that. Now come. Cornea awaits its new king. And queen.
Apologies for keeping you waiting, my prince. Is there something I can help you with?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
In truth, I had believed it's some grave error that I found myself asked here. How could I possibly be worthy of such an honor?
Hold your gaze high, Leah. We've spent many a sleepless night of late, locked in gripping conversation. And while time may slip through our fingers like so many grains of sand, some thoughts never fade from my mind. How dedicated and kind you are. How true to yourself. How utterly stunning in every way.
I'm not sure how to respond. I never had anything growing up. Not until Gilbert and his late father gave me a home to call my own. Yet amid the long, silent nights in their cold castle walls, I couldn't help but wonder. Why was I brought into this world, only to be abandoned in the nascent days of my infancy?
Leah.
But every minute with you has been brimming with warmth, life, love. And for the first time in all my years, I've realized my purpose on this earth. I want to protect the kingdom of those who welcomed me as family when I had none. That, and I want to do so beside the first man who's ever made me feel loved as I truly am. I've waited my entire life for this moment, and I wouldn't dare let it slip away. My answer is yes, Elaine.
You'll never be alone again, for as long as I live. I shall be with you, always. And I thank you for your courage. I'm thrilled to hear it. And should sleep ever elude you, I'd be more than happy to while the night away in loving conversation.
I can't wait.
Primm, is there a reason you've brought your staff with you?
Is there a reason I wouldn't? I assume you've asked me here for some form of healing.
Well, no, not exactly. I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
What a lovely little ring! And in such a beautiful place, too. It almost sounded like you were proposing for a second there.
That was my intention, yes.
Oh, how wonderful! I wish all the best to you and, me? Wait, me?
There could be none other. Ever since you joined our cause, your skill as a cleric has saved countless lives. And by swearing an oath upon these rings, we can draw out...
Sorry, Elaine, but do you mind if I gather my thoughts for a second? you saying again? I'm ready to hear it this time.
Well, I was bade to give this ring to the person I care for most. And you were the first and only who crossed my mind. With every spark of healing magic I witness, it's as though a part of my own heart is restored as well. In time, I've come to realize just how much you mean to me. How I couldn't live without you at my side. Marry me, Primm, and together, we'll build a life more grand than we ever could have dreamed.
I'm flattered that you think that highly of me. And so immensely happy, too. I would love nothing more than to be your bride, Elaine. I accept 100 times over.
I'll never forget this day, Primm. The day we embarked on a beautiful new journey. Together.
I just worry what my sister will say when she learns I got engaged before her.
No thanks.
But I haven't even said anything yet. I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I knew it. And, yeah. Not interested.
Why not?
I've heard the stories from Rosalinda. Breaking this oath comes at a heavy cost. And there's no guarantee I won't turn on you. Or you on me.
I would never do that.
Once this war is done and buried, I'll be back in Drakenholt where I belong. And you know what my people think of Cornea. Things go sideways, we'll be at each other's throats before we know it. Try putting a little more thought into this, yeah?
Then we'll face those consequences together. We could live 100 lives, and I would pick you every time.
That's some risk you're taking. If what they say about your unicorn and its tradition is true, this covenant represents the strongest bond imaginable. The sacred kind. Where severing it might just cost your life.
I'll bear any danger should it mean spending that life with you. Marry me, Berengaria. As stunning as you are now, you'll look even more so in the pure white of a wedding dress.
You're really something, you know that? But I'm not complaining. The answer's yes, by the way.
I love you, now and always.
And I hope you're ready to put up with me for the rest of your life. Your laughter, your tears, your pain. I'm here for all of it.
I think I already know why you've called me here. Go on, then.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
As I expected. Very well. I accept.
You aren't going to think about it first?
What's there to think about? I know what must be done, and I know we march for a common purpose. Together we will bring Zenoira to heal, and restore lasting peace to all of Fevrith, to our homes. I may be but a humble mercenary, yet I can offer a sharper sword and sturdier shield than almost any other.
And I'm ever grateful to have them, Aramis.
Now then, I've heard the greater the trust between us, the grander power our rings will bear. Thankfully, it goes without saying that our bond is stronger than any other.
Agreed.
Even should the blade I wield crumble to dust, no impediment is too great with you at my side. I only ask that you never leave it. Not until I prove I can avail my people. My nation, and my brother, need that assurance now more than ever.
Never seen somewhere so nice and green before. A place like this would have been choked by sand years ago, back where I'm from.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
And what's this ring mean to you?
Consider it proof that I trust you above all others.
Then give me your ear for a sec. I've got some words I want you to hear.
I'm listening.
If you hadn't come along when you did, I might well have been stuck a puppet for the rest of my damned life. Could have ended up kicking the old dirt can before I ever saw Liza again, or my friends. But here I am, still standing, breathing, living. And it's all thanks to you.
I only did what I felt was right.
Yep, and that's exactly why I trust you back. More than anyone else ever could. So I'll be taking that ring now. We got a world to save. And a desert, too.
I knew I was right to pick you, Magellan.
Oh. I guess that's it then. Sorry, boss. But you're stuck with me for good.
No apologies necessary. It's an honor, Magellan. And thank you.
What's eating at you, boss? Maybe you're thinking about a little bonus for old Jeremy here, hmm?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Oh, yeah? Give me a look at that. This thing just for show, or is it actually worth something?
It's the only ring of its kind the entire world over. And should we swear an oath by it, we can restore the Ring of the Unicorn to its full power.
You're asking me? Always knew you had a good eye on you. Don't sweat a damn thing, boss. I promise, you won't regret it.
Our covenant is sealed.
Hell of a trinket. Slip it into the right palm, and I bet I'd be set for life.
Oh, but one last thing. Betray this oath, and the unicorn's curse will deliver you unspeakable horrors for the rest of your days.
Oh!
What's the big idea asking me here? Guy like you's probably got 100 better choices.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Funny joke.
I assure you, I couldn't be more serious.
Get real. You know how much hell you'd catch going with a girl like me? I'm loud, I'm rude, and I'm such a desert kid, I got sand running through my veins. You can't possibly want my squalor dirty in the crown.
Don't belittle yourself so. I couldn't imagine life without you by my side, Liza. And should anyone attempt to disparage your demeanor, they will have to answer to me. I promise you, I will do everything in my power to make our union as perfect as you could ever imagine.
I guess I could be convinced if you're that set on it.
Fairer words have never crossed my ears.
Mind if I ask you something, though? Just don't forget about everyone suffering out in the desert.
I could never. Those people are your family, Liza, and they will always have my protection.
Guess it's settled then. I'm yours. For the rest of forever.
I hear you've need of me, my prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Who are you speaking to exactly? I fail to see any eligible damsels in the vicinity.
I'm speaking to you, Gloucester.
Oh,
I myself bear the ring of the unicorn, yet, as you can see, none of the sacred beasts reside in this forest. It follows that the partner I choose needn't necessarily be a maiden either. My only task is to grant the ring to the person I trust most, so that we may bring a deserved end to Zenoira's reign. And that person is you. Will you join me?
I understand, Your Highness. If it means saving the desert, my kingdom, and the entire world over, I would gladly accept any role you see me fit for.
I'm relieved to hear that. Thank you, Gloucester. Your passion for this duty is undeniable, but remember, the both of us must come back from this alive. Drakenhold will be thriving again in no time at all with you to protect it.
It is as you say, sir. I shall do everything in my power to live on. If not only for me, for my home as well.
I heard mutterings around camp about the Rite of Covenant. Is that why you've called me here?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You seem quite set on it.
I am.
In our time together, I've come to know you as a kind man, well deserving of his soldiers' trust and loyalty. But you're still much too naive. That innocence will see your head roll someday, especially if you mean to rule a kingdom. Which is why I would ask you this. You've spoken time and again of your wish to restore order to this land. But are you prepared to deal with the consequences of doing so? To make decisions that will govern the life and death of your people?
Indeed I am. Though I've made a promise to myself.
Which is?
I will never let the luster of the crown wash away my humanity. Those who forget the very citizens they claim to serve are unfit to lead and unfit to rule. Call it naive if you wish, but that is the principle with which I hope to restore Cornea. A belief that will neither bend nor break.
There's the Elaine I know. But you've changed too. Those eyes burn with the fire of true conviction, just like you say. And a fire I can't help but gaze deeper into. I'll support you however I'm able, both in leadership and in life.
I'd like nothing more, Hilda.
That's that then. You may have much yet to learn, Elaine. But being a warm, gentle soul isn't one of those things. Never lose that.
With you at my side, I never could.
I feel as though I know why you've summoned me here. Speak your part, please.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
As I suspected. Yet I believe your reason for choosing me lies not with drawing out the ring's power. No. I expect the intent of your words instead falls upon the relationship between Cornea and Drakenholt. Am I wrong?
I admit, this right does bring certain advantages. 'Tis a bond of mutual trust, after all.
The vicious feud between our nations has spanned years. Generations, in fact. Though the two of us may finally bring it to a long-awaited end. Indeed, an arrangement such as this would ensure that such events come to pass. Yet you and I already share a deep friendship, with little and less need for covenants to prove it. Hence, I suggest the ring rather go to the one you care for most. Why do you laugh?
You're a leader as clever as you are careful, Gilbert. But it seems you've miscalculated. The one I care for most is you.
I can't say I ever considered such a notion.
I have to say, it's rather endearing to see you at a loss like this. Quite a stark difference from your normal stateliness.
I concede this round. It seems I have no choice but to accept.
Our oath is sworn.
Indeed. And my nation's future with Cornea appears all the brighter knowing you'll stand at its helm. Now, let us expunge Galerius from this world and usher in a new age through every corner of Fefrith.
Could you perhaps stand back a bit?
I see someone's made up his mind.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You realize accepting would make me the Queen of Cornea, yes?
Naturally.
And what? Is that all you have to say? Tell me how you truly feel, Elaine.
I love you, Rosalinda, from the very bottom of my heart. And I want nothing more than to spend the rest of my days at your side.
Well, that's more like it. I'm ready. This is the happiest day of my life. I might not have been chosen as Turdanos, but to be chosen by you is all the greater. Just know I'll be awfully furious if you go dying before me.
I'm not sure that's a demand I can meet. Elves live for far longer than mere humans, after all.
Then I suppose Cornea will have to get used to my solitary reign.
Well, if it means ruling beside you, perhaps I could try holding on just a bit more.
The wind carries word of your summons, Sir Elaine. To what do I owe the honor?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
That ring has been passed down through the Turdanos line for generations, and you would offer it to me?
Indeed I would. 'Tis only fitting of the one I trust most.
Do you recall the day we first met? It was in the heat of fierce battle, when I seemed destined to lose. I was fully prepared to greet the Divine that day, and I surely would have, had you not come to my rescue. My reunion with Teil Talinda would have fallen painfully short as well. That's not a debt I will ever manage to repay, not even granted a prolonged elven lifespan. Hence, should you consider me the object of your fancy, I must unquestionably consent.
Thank you, Lynn. If you'll let me call you that.
I would. I swear to you, Elaine. I shall give everything I am in restoring this world to its natural order. I suppose that was it then. All that remains now is to march onward, to a righteous conclusion. The night may grow darker yet, but our resolve shall light the way. Arm in gauntlet-clad arm.
I hear you have something to tell me, Prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
This isn't something to be joking about. And at a time like this, no less.
It's no joke. I wish for you to accept this ring from the deepest depths of my heart.
But that means you... Really?
Is it truly such a startling suggestion? I believe I've made my feelings quite clear.
I guess I have picked up on it, but still. Who goes thrusting a ring at someone out of nowhere? The shot could have killed me.
You're right. I should never have surprised you like this.
It's funny. All my life I had cursed my mother for settling down with a human. Swore that I'd never follow the same path, not in 1,000 years. But you've changed my mind. I'll wear that ring with pride.
I couldn't ask for anything more. Thank you, Ridiel.
I guess that makes it official then. Hope you're ready to spoil me.
Now and for the rest of our years.
This supposed to be a joke, boss? Cause you wouldn't catch a damn hyena laughing at it.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Me? A maiden?
It belongs to the one I trust most. And that would be you, Gamel. Please.
Always knew you were a naive little softy, but this is something else. I'm in. You're the only reason I'm not bones and dust right now, so whatever you say, boss. That it?
Indeed. We should now be able to draw on the ring's full power.
Then what are we waiting for? It's time we teach Galerius who's the real king around here.
Pretty place you got here. Question is, why am I along for the ride?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
You mind repeating that?
I said, I'd like you to take this ring.
You feeling all right? 'Cause it seems to me you're a few horses short of a stable.
I'm of perfectly sound mind, I promise you.
Life's a funny thing, huh? One day you're off robbing a church, the next you're getting handed some fancy ring by a crown prince.
I suppose it is quite amusing when you put it like that. But listen to me, Mandarin. I know how deeply you care for those who are most important to you. I can't picture success coming without that strength at my side, nor that kindness.
Betting you know I can't turn down a friend in need either. Giving all I got for someone else is kind of my whole deal. And if that someone's gonna be you, well, maybe we can make a country where kids won't have to go to sleep dreaming for even the slightest scraps of food.
We'll see it done. You and I, together. What kind of friend would I be if I were all talk and no action?
A crap one. But we both know that's not you. Now come on, let's have that ring.
It would be my pleasure.
Right then. Time to roll up my sleeves and get to work. Oh, and, thanks for this, Elaine.
I was told you were asking for me, Elaine?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
It's beautiful. Almost like something out of a fairy tale.
It may as well be. This ring has been in the royal family for generations.
And you believe me worthy of such an honor?
I do. Both as warrior maiden, spurred onward by her bounteous sense of justice. And as a gentle princess, able to tread this path ever at my side.
I always dreamed of a day like this, but I never thought it would actually come. Not for me.
I take it you accept then?
Of course. I wouldn't trade your affection for all the riches in the world. And I may not be well versed in the ways of the court, but I swear, I'll always stand faithful to you, Elaine. Till death do us part.
Those words came as quite a shock the first time, but now, they're the finest poem I've ever heard.
This truly is a marvelous ring. I'll have to make sure my griffin doesn't mistake it for a snack instead.
Yes, please do that.
Was there something you needed from me?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Are you certain the role is mine to have?
I am. History will surely sing of your undying loyalty, and I can only hope they depict it at my side. Not to mention your skill with the sword. Such talents are a gift to the world over.
It's nothing that remarkable. Just what's expected from Ter Rosalinda's personal guard.
I only pray she won't mind sharing.
To be frank, I have reason myself to swear this covenant. Namely, keeping my Terra safe. Alina too.
Indeed, and Galerius' downfall will finally bring the peace that Elheim has craved for so long.
Then it seems I only have one choice here. My blade belongs not only to Ter Rosalinda, but to you as well.
Thank you, Ethelion. Your strength should prove invaluable in the days to come.
I swear it will. And believe me, I don't make promises I can't keep.
I hear you have need of me, Prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Allow me to ask you something before I offer my response. Elves and humans bear the same flesh, bleed the same blood, yet the limits of our mortality differ greatly. I will live on long after your spirit has returned to the earth. My grief is all but inevitable if we continue down this path. What do you make of that?
I'm well aware that agreeing to this will subject you to years of solitude and sorrow. But I share in that sentiment myself. The mere thought of leaving this world without you at my side fills me with the coldest melancholy and fear. Even still, I wish to spend what little time I have with none but you. I know it to be selfish of me, naive even. And yet, I ask that you forgive me this request all the same.
Thank you, Elaine. I can tell you truly mean what you've said. And you're right. Grief visits upon more than just the one left behind. I accept your proposal. And your melancholy, your fear, as well as your selfishness. Let us swear our union by the might of these sacred rings. We shall remain as one until the day death himself tears us apart.
There could be no greater honor.
As long as we have time to share in this life, I promise to share it with you.
And I the same. I love you, Eltelinda.
You summoned me, Elaine?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Surely you haven't thought the matter through if you're asking this of me.
I have. I could imagine none other serving the role, Rylanor. I hope I haven't offended.
Not in the slightest. You're an exceptional man, Elaine. Possessed of a strong heart and a sharp mind. And above all, a kindness few could match. In truth, my feelings for you have grown unabated since the day you so warmly tended to my leg. And to hear those words cross my ears has brought me a greater joy than I ever thought possible.
Then allow me to further bolster that joy. Our time together has been brief, perhaps, yet I've observed the grace with which you conduct yourself. The selflessness. I have to admit, such qualities have seen you occupy a genuinely cherished place in my heart.
Elaine,
Would you do me this honor?
Yes. 100 times, yes. I will treasure this ring for as long as I live. Today, I'm the happiest woman in all of Fevrith.
And I, the happiest man.
You've picked an interesting setting for a discussion. I presume it's an important matter?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden. The truth is, I trust you above all others. Not only for your strength, but for your loyalty, your cautious demeanor, everything about you, really.
Hence you'd have me wear your ring.
That is the request I'd make of you, yes. Though, perhaps I failed to earn the trust required for such an oath.
If anything, I'd say your subdued confidence betrays your lack of faith in me.
That was not my intent.
Apologies for teasing you, Elaine. You still have much to learn about me. But I'll gladly give you all the time you need. I accept.
Are you certain?
I've watched you hold the entire liberation together with your bare hands, and sacrifice your own well-being for that of your people. How could I not be certain about such an incredible man? Now the ring, if you will.
I should have known you'd have me beaten in a war of words.
This covenant is a profound one, Elaine. So don't think you can go dying on me before your task is finished.
Elaine, what's all this about?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Don't be ridiculous. You know what kind of man I am. Someone like me doesn't deserve the honor.
That's where you're wrong, Morard. You've lived a life others could scarcely even imagine. A remorseful human, transformed into the most massive of Bestrels. Yet you never languished in the face of such great misfortune. You used it as fuel to propel you forth. 'Tis a feat only a select few might ever achieve, if any at all.
I can't say I ever thought of it that way. But while we're on the subject of feats, you're barely old enough to hold a sword, let alone lead an army. But here you are, fixing to save the whole damned world. I've never seen anything like it. Fine then. If you're that desperate for my help, who am I to say no? I have to admit, it's a real laugh knowing an old Zenoiran nobody will be the one bringing down the entire empire.
I suppose it goes to show, life truly is full of surprises.
Says the man who just proposed to a lion. Either way, I've got even more I have to protect now. First Unifi, and now you. So let's get moving. We have a battle to win.
Well, I'm here. What's this about?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden. What is it?
If you're asking me that, then... does that mean I get to be with you... forever?
It does, if you're willing to accept. I could picture no brighter future, Unifi.
Huh. You know, I've never had a real family. Not that I can remember, at least. I mean, I do have Morard and Ramona, and they're the best foster parents I could have ever asked for. But I've been thinking... I want something more. A family I can call my own. And I want it with you, Elaine. So it makes me really happy to know you feel the same.
I as well. In truth, I've never been happier. I take it this means you'll accept then?
As if you even have to ask. Now that that's all done with, maybe someday we can add to this little family of ours.
A nice idea. But I fear I only have one pair of rings.
That's not what I meant.
Hello there, Elaine. What is it you wish to discuss with me?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I anticipated this, from the moment I was summoned forth to this altar. Though I can't say I have confidence in the decision.
You should. Do you remember what you said to me? How you dreamt of a future where humans and bestrels can live in harmony, free from the bounds of race or nationality. In that moment, I knew, with you at my side, nothing is impossible. not even the salvation of Fevrith. So please, accept this ring, and together, we shall make both of our dreams into the brightest reality.
My word. Even after all my years on this earth, there's truly no telling what surprises life may have in store. And, if I recall correctly, you spoke much the same regarding the future of our two peoples. How you believed they could overcome their differences and march as one to the same beat. Well, you should know that I share your hunger for peace. Not merely for Bastorius, but for the world over. A better life, and a better home. I could never spurn the chance to bring such a transformation to pass. I accept. With great pride.
I had faith you would. Thank you, Ramona.
Let this rite serve as the first step toward a new dawn. For Bestral, man, elf, and all life on Fevrith and beyond.
We'll make it so. You and I together.
And once we do, we can mark the occasion with a hearty bowl of fresh fish stew.
My mouth is watering already.
Prince Elaine, I was informed you had words for me.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I assume such an offer is symbolic of the trust you have placed upon my shoulders. While I cannot deny the joy I feel in this moment, am I truly the one you desire?
I know well the sacrifices you're willing to make for the well-being of others. And that you possess an unbreaking spirit, dauntless in the face of even the deepest despair. So I'm certain a covenant with you would bring these rings immeasurable power.
You know, Prince, our battle at Paeston forever altered the trajectory of my life. Not only were you able to liberate the city, but my heart as well. To refuse a gesture this righteous would be tantamount to divine treason. I accept.
You've done me a great honor, Fedokia. Thank you, truly.
All that I am is heir in your service.
Then I've nothing to fear, and much to be grateful for.
Why? Why have you summoned me here?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I don't deserve such an honor. Or did you forget what I've done?
How I turned my blade against you.
I remember. But I've also observed you in the days since. Seen how tirelessly you've worked to atone for your past transgressions. And I would say you've more than done so. Such single-minded resolve speaks to the profound purity of your heart. In any case, it's not as though you betrayed us out of malice or greed. So please, Humorous, let this bitter dance of self-reproach end here and now. From the moment you accept this ring, your sins will be no more. You shall stand among us as an equal.
You're kind, Elaine. Far too kind. But I do like that about you. I accept your offer. I promise to never leave your side from this day forward, neither in battle nor in life.
And I the same. Never again will you be forced to suffer alone, Humorous. Not while I still live and breathe.
Thank you, Elaine. My heart is forever yours.
I've word you summoned me, my prince?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
A test, is it? Huh. What is a loyal knight meant to say in such thorny situations?
Calm yourself, please. I assure you, I'm not expecting any particular response.
Yes, right. But in that case...
forgive me the question, but what exactly do you keep glancing at?
How shall I ever divulge it to him? If Elaine ever knew I asked my adherent to observe us for fear of being ousted, oh, he would surely oust me then and there.
Is everything all right? I'm starting to wonder if I've made a mistake. Listen to me, Jerome. From the first we met, it was clear as day how deep and earnest a love you bore for the people of your city.
Oh, well...
I'd like nothing more than to extend that love toward the entire kingdom. To greet the dawning of peace with you at my side. Would you accept this ring as a symbol of that wish?
My word, I never dreamt you felt that way. But if you're assured in your decision, I would be honored to accept.
Looks like it all went perfect to plan.
Indeed it did. Thank you for making sure he didn't run off.
You mean to say you conspired against me?
A time-worn altar of Palavian provenance, inherently linked to the Orthodoxy's doctrine. I must admit, I can't help but marvel in its presence. Am I truly the one you wish to summon here?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
then my being here is not mere happenstance. Yet I am little more than a wicked sinner, forever tarnished by my transgressions against the Church. Reluctant though I am to refuse our Savior's request, the most sacred of rites warrants a finer partner than I.
You've clearly thought much on your misdeeds and labored tirelessly to unmake their harms, all while dutifully serving as my trusted guardian. But despite those endeavors, it appears you're unwilling to actually forgive yourself.
'Tis as you say. What's more, should a man of my character be chosen over others more worthy, our army's morale will surely suffer.
Allow me a proposal then. Join me and help deliver this world the salvation it seeks. I can think of no greater way to atone for your sins.
But...
And should we emerge victorious, you may return to Aubin not as a father scorned, but one absolved. Your congregation will welcome you back with open arms. I'm certain of it.
What have I done to deserve such kindness? You seek to redeem not only Fevrith, but me as well.
What kind of savior would I be otherwise?
I've finally come to understand the unshakable trust Lady Scarlett bears for you. The reason she and so many others would stand beside you through even the harshest of storms. Divine Savior, I wish to honor your request. Pray, rest the ring upon my palm.
Thank you for this, Senatio.
No matter what evils the future may hold, I shall ever rise to oppose their reign. Our hands, together as one, shall deliver peace and tranquility to this desperate world. And once they do, I promise to live anew, an existence reborn, rejoicing in the heavenly warmth of those we've saved.
Need something?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Elaine, I know how deeply you care for those who fight for you. Better than most, I'd say. But I thought that sentiment applied to all of us equally.
And it does, to an extent. Every last one of my soldiers is important to me. But I realized something when I saw you in danger. Among all others, you are the one I hold most dear.
What am I supposed to say to that? Knowing you mean every word of it. Not to mention the way you act around me. It's just not fair. I showed up planning to turn you down, you know.
I'm sorry.
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. What business do you have apologizing? Fine. I'll stand by you. To the very end.
Thank you, Dinah, for saying yes, despite yourself.
One more thing. Remember what I said before? How I don't want to see you hurt? It's even more true now. So no dying on me, okay? I want you to promise.
I promise. I'll never let you experience that pain again.
Hey there, Commander. Something on your mind?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
I figured that's what this was about. Doesn't make it any less of a surprise, though. So, out of all the people you could pick, why me?
We made a promise, Bryce, that you would keep an eye on me, and if I proved myself unworthy of the throne...
I'd run you through.
I have to admit, the cost of breaking such a promise has kept me standing even taller than I otherwise would. I could have 1,000 armies, and there'd still be none other like you.
Can't exactly refuse an offer like that. But remember, there's always a price to betraying a contract. So, no turning back once it's sealed. If you take the throne and start championing the moneyed over your common man, well, you know what'll happen. Anyway, I'm done talking your ear off. I'll take that ring now.
I'll be looking forward to more of these lectures in the years to come.
You really are a strange one, kid. But maybe that's just what it takes to change the world.
You know, judging by the statue, you'd think I was the unicorn here.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Whoa there. You sure about this? Guess I'm not too surprised, but... that thing's made for human fingers. Why give it to me?
Despite your outwardly gruff demeanor, I possess few friends more affectionate and courageous than you. In my eyes, you deserve this ring above all others.
Fine then. If that's what you really want, I'm your guy. And hey, palling around with the king who saved Fevrith might just make people think different about us Bestrels. I want this world to be a peaceful one, for all its races. With you, it feels like that's actually possible.
Thank you, Govil. I promise I'll do all I can to make that dream a reality.
Ah, the king's right hand, huh? I like the sound of that. Now, let's make sure you get that crown back.
A pleasure to see you, my prince. I was told you've need of me?
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
Me, sir? But why?
I've seen firsthand the kindness and strength with which you rise in defense of those you love, even when gravely injured yourself. And I could hope for no greater qualities from the one who will bear this ring, and soon serve as my queen.
Such tender words. When I first arrived at this altar, I thought it some manner of mistake. that I could never fulfill a role so grand. Yet I admit, hearing the contents of your heart spoken plain has swept those doubts far off into the ether. You and I shall change this world, my prince, into a place where none need ever suffer again.
We shall not know rest until it is so. To be with you is everything I could have ever dreamed of. Thank you, Berenice.
'Tis done. Should the cold clutches of doubt ever take hold of me again, I shall grasp this ring and remember the heavenly moment we shared here. And, of course, the striking proposal you've graced me with. I love you, Elaine.
What is it, Prince? You're gonna get a girl's hopes up asking her to a place like this.
I'd like you to have the ring of the Maiden.
It's a cute little thing, isn't it? Wonder if it'll even fit on my finger.
Does that mean you accept?
Under one condition. And I think you know what that's gonna be.
A test of might. That explains why you asked me to bring a sword. And should I win, I get to request anything I wish. That was the bargain, yes?
Yep. Doesn't matter if it's a ring or a rejection. I'll take whatever you've got.
Very well then. I'll have to show you how I feel through martial prowess.
Let's see it!
It seems I've won.
Sure does. That was great. Just what I'd expect from a man looking to be my partner. I'll take that ring now. Might not fit on my finger, but I can wear it around my neck, no problem.
Thank you, Amalia.
It's nothing. You know, you're the strongest man I've ever met. Strong enough to dethrone the champ. So you better not go giving that crown to anyone else. At least, not if you want me sticking around.
For you, I'll fell any foe. I promise you that, and so much more.